General Hospital will reveal in recent days, the relationship between Jordan and Isaiah has grown increasingly intimate. They spend most of their time together, from romantic dinners at the Savoy to peaceful mornings enjoying coffee on Jordan's apartment balcony overlooking Port Charles Harbor. However, behind the facade of a kind-hearted doctor, Isaiah conceals dark secrets that Jordan remains completely unaware of. Having only recently arrived in Port Charles, he has revealed little about his past beyond swearing never to perform surgery again. The suspicious reality is that Isaiah secretly takes orders from a mysterious boss and is quietly poisoning Sonny by dangerously increasing his heart medication dosage. Each time Jordan inquires about his past, Isaiah skillfully redirects the conversation or provides vague answers. His charming smile effectively dispels Jordan's doubts whenever he says that his past matters less than their present together. She doesn't know that each night, while she sleeps soundly, Isaiah sneaks into the study, opens his specially encrypted laptop, and reports progress to a mysterious man via encoded video calls. Brick, who recently returned to town after an extended assignment in Miami, immediately sensed something amiss when he spotted Jordan and Isaiah together at Kelly's cafe. Isaiah's expression, a momentary flash of concern upon seeing Brick, didn't escape the observant man's notice. During one visit to Jordan's apartment, bringing her favorite red roses and Earl Grey tea, Brick encountered Isaiah and warned, "I've heard some very suspicious things about your family. For your sake, I hope you're not part of it." These words merely scratched the surface of the secrets Isaiah was hiding. Following this tense encounter, Isaiah became more cautious. He enhanced security measures for his clandestine communications and accelerated his plan to poison Sonny. During each visit to General Hospital as a consulting physician, he found ways to access Sonny's medical records and subtly adjust his heart medication dosage. In the dimly lit records room, with computer screen light reflecting on his tense face, Isaiah would whisper to himself that increasing the dosage by just 0.5 milligrams weekly would ensure no one would suspect when Sonny suddenly died from heart failure. Meanwhile, Jordan and Isaiah's relationship continued to flourish. Jordan, having endured numerous losses throughout her life, finally felt she had found peace. She constantly told friends about Isaiah's sweetness and attentiveness, the surprise flower deliveries, encouraging messages throughout the day, and his constant availability when needed. During lunch with Portia at Metro Court, Jordan confided that Isaiah differed from other men, truly understanding her and her work. She remained oblivious that whenever she shared information about her job, Isaiah memorized it and reported back to his mysterious employer. Josslyn, with her secretly acquired WSB training skills, began noticing subtle changes in her father's health. Sonny, typically strong despite his heart condition, recently complained of fatigue and dizziness. Initially attributing this to work pressure, her instincts eventually pushed her to investigate further. One evening while visiting her father's penthouse, Josslyn accidentally discovered something unusual in Sonny's medication box. With basic medical knowledge from emergency response courses, she realized her father's heart medication dosage significantly exceeded normal levels. Recognizing this couldn't be a mistake, she concluded someone was deliberately harming her father. Cautiously, Josslyn began monitoring everyone around Sonny, especially those with access to his medications. Simultaneously, Brick launched his own investigation into Isaiah's background. Through his extensive network, he gradually uncovered the doctor's dark past. Isaiah wasn't new to the underground world, he had previously worked for a secret organization connected to Sonny's sworn enemy. Brick muttered to himself while reviewing the confidential documents he had gathered, realizing Isaiah had targeted Sonny in Port Charles and was using Jordan for access. Jordan, despite being an excellent police commissioner with years of experience, failed to recognize the lurking danger. Love had clouded her typically sharp vigilance. Whenever Isaiah abruptly departed due to emergency hospital calls, she saw only dedication to his profession rather than cause for suspicion. Even when he inquired about her work schedule or the police department's confidential meetings, she willingly shared information, believing it reflected normal interest. Josslyn, employing patience and professionally trained surveillance skills, began discovering connections between Isaiah's hospital appearances and changes in Sonny's medication. She secretly installed mini surveillance cameras in her father's medication room and waited. After 3 days, she obtained evidence, Isaiah, in doctor's attire, sneaking in and altering Sonny's heart medication dosage. With trembling hands reviewing the video footage, Josslyn could hardly believe someone was attempting to murder her father. Recognizing this evidence alone wasn't sufficient, she needed to identify who issued the order and why. Determined to protect her family, Josslyn initiated a comprehensive investigation, utilizing every skill and resource she had acquired from the WSB. Meanwhile, Isaiah moved increasingly closer to achieving his objective. During social events where he encountered Sonny, he expressed concern for his health and even offered medical advice. His caring tone suggested he could help adjust medications if Sonny felt unwell, while his cold eyes betrayed his words. Sonny, typically vigilant against enemies, never suspected the man his foster daughter trusted. One evening while Jordan and Isaiah enjoyed a romantic dinner at her home, his phone rang. After excusing himself for an emergency hospital call, Jordan's police instinct sensed something amiss and she quietly followed. She overheard Isaiah saying everything was proceeding according to plan, that Sonny wouldn't survive the week, and that Jordan suspected nothing, completely trusting him. Jordan's heart nearly stopped. The man she loved and trusted was conspiring to kill Sonny, her longtime friend and ally. Though tempted to confront him immediately, her police instincts advised restraint. She needed to identify who issued the order and understand their complete plan. Concurrently, Josslyn discovered a crucial clue. By hacking into Isaiah's email, a skill learned from Spinelli, she found encrypted exchanges between him and a mysterious email address. With assistance from WSB encryption experts, she decoded the content, detailed instructions for poisoning Sonny without leaving evidence, along with information about monitoring Jordan to track Port Charles police activities. Josslyn realized this wasn't merely a murder plot but part of a larger scheme targeting the entire city. She decided to contact Brick, whom she knew was investigating Isaiah. During a secret meeting at the docks, she shared her discoveries. Brick, examining the evidence, acknowledged he knew something was wrong with Isaiah but hadn't anticipated such severity. He emphasized they needed immediate but intelligent action, as whoever controlled Isaiah was no amateur. They devised a plan to catch Isaiah and force him to reveal his mastermind's identity. Josslyn would replace Sonny's real medication with placebos for protection, while Brick monitored Isaiah's every move. Jordan, having painfully discovered the truth, decided to maintain secrecy and continue portraying an unsuspecting lover to gather additional information. On a stormy night, as Isaiah prepared to administer the final lethal medication dose to Sonny, Josslyn, Brick, and Jordan caught him in the act. With her gun aimed directly at her former lover, Jordan declared the game over, revealing they knew everything about his plan and his employer. Cornered, Isaiah attempted denial, claiming everything was for their benefit. However, when Josslyn presented irrefutable evidence, emails, surveillance videos, and even tampered medication samples, he finally confessed. He admitted being hired to kill Sonny and monitor Jordan but warned they didn't understand who they were confronting, someone omnipresent who wouldn't stop merely because Isaiah had been captured. Combining Jordan's interrogation skills, Brick's information network, and Josslyn's collected evidence, they eventually forced Isaiah to reveal his employer's identity, a name that stunned all three. It was an old enemy they believed long dead, now returned with a vengeance plan targeting not only Sonny but all of Port Charles. Armed with this information, they quickly developed a counter-strategy. Josslyn, supported by the WSB, established a secret operation to capture the mastermind. Jordan, despite her heartbreak from betrayal, maintained professional composure and coordinated police forces. Brick, leveraging his underworld connections, ensured no one could warn their enemy about their plans. The final confrontation occurred at Port Charles Harbor, where the mastermind prepared to flee after learning of Isaiah's capture. Instead of escaping, he fell into Josslyn's carefully designed trap. Through perfect coordination between the WSB, Port Charles Police, and Brick's network, the enemy was finally apprehended, ending the threat to Sonny and the city. In the aftermath, Josslyn faced the pain of betrayal. She had opened her heart to Isaiah and trusted him, only to discover it was all deception. Though wounded, she found strength in knowing she had protected her community and stopped a dangerous plot. Josslyn earned newfound respect from her father and the WSB for her exceptional investigative work and quick thinking under pressure. Brick, ever the reliable ally, reminded everyone why his presence in Port Charles remained invaluable. As Port Charles returned to relative normalcy, the experience left lasting impacts on everyone involved. Josslyn became more cautious about personal relationships but remained dedicated to her role as commissioner. Josslyn embraced her natural talent for investigation, considering a future career path that would utilize these skills. And Sonny, having narrowly escaped death, reinforced security around his family while expressing profound gratitude to those who had saved his life. The dark clouds that had gathered over Port Charles gradually dispersed, but as any resident knew, in this town, peace was always temporary. New threats would inevitably emerge, but the bonds forged through this ordeal would ensure they faced whatever came next together. As the dust settles on this explosive revelation, we are left to contemplate the tragic irony of Josslyn's situation. A police commissioner with years of experience and a reputation for keen instincts, Josslyn failed to recognize she was being manipulated by the very man she had welcomed into her heart. She had become so entangled in her blossoming emotions for Isaiah that warning signs which would have been obvious in any professional context went completely unnoticed in her personal life. The late-night phone calls, the excessive interest in her cases involving Sonny, the convenient appearances at critical moments, all these red flags were dismissed as she allowed herself to believe she had finally found someone who understood both the woman and the commissioner. The revelation of Isaiah's true intentions came as a devastating blow to Josslyn, forcing her to confront not only his betrayal but also her own vulnerability. The woman who had built her career on being several steps ahead of criminals had been outmaneuvered in the most personal way possible. Yet even in this moment of profound pain, Josslyn's true character emerged, setting aside her heartbreak to focus on protecting Port Charles and bringing Isaiah and his employer to justice. This duality of strength and vulnerability has always been what makes Josslyn such a compelling figure in Port Charles, a woman capable of acknowledging her wounds while refusing to be defined by them. Meanwhile, Josslyn's emergence as the unexpected hero of this saga represents a significant evolution for a character often overshadowed by more dramatic personalities in Port Charles. Using her secret WSB training and natural intelligence, she methodically pieced together the evidence of Isaiah's plot against Sonny, working diligently in the shadows while maintaining a perfect facade of normalcy. Her ability to analyze the altered medication, track Isaiah's movements, and ultimately connect him to the larger conspiracy demonstrated a level of sophistication and determination that surprised even those who had known her since childhood. In Josslyn, we see the perfect blend of her mother Carly's tenacity and her adoptive father Sonny's strategic thinking, combined with her own unique perspective and moral compass. The dismantling of Isaiah's dangerous plot showcased the power of family bonds in Port Charles, a recurring theme that continues to resonate throughout the show's long history. It wasn't just Josslyn's individual brilliance that saved the day, but the collective strength of a family willing to protect their own at all costs. Brick's street intelligence, Josslyn's law enforcement expertise, and Josslyn's analytical skills created a formidable alliance that Isaiah and his mysterious employer never anticipated. This collaboration across different worlds, the legal, the criminal, and the medical, highlights how Port Charles at its best transcends traditional boundaries when facing a common threat. For Josslyn, the road to recovery from this betrayal will undoubtedly be long and difficult. The woman who has survived physical injuries, professional setbacks, and personal losses now faces perhaps her greatest challenge, learning to trust again. The walls she had carefully lowered for Isaiah will likely be rebuilt stronger than before, potentially affecting her ability to form connections both personally and professionally. Yet history has shown that Josslyn's resilience is unmatched in Port Charles. She has repeatedly risen from the ashes of tragedy to reclaim her power and purpose. As she processes this betrayal, viewers will witness another chapter in the evolution of one of Port Charles's most complex and admirable characters. The aftermath of this revelation leaves numerous questions hanging in the balance. Who is the mastermind behind Isaiah's elaborate scheme? Was Sonny the only target, or part of a larger plan to destabilize Port Charles? Will Josslyn's impressive performance lead to a more formal role with the WSB, potentially pulling her away from her medical studies and deeper into the world of espionage? And perhaps most intriguingly, how will this experience reshape the dynamics between Jordan and Brick, whose mutual respect and understanding have deepened significantly through this ordeal? These tantalizing threads promise to weave an even more complex tapestry in the coming weeks. As we look ahead to future episodes, Port Charles stands at a crossroads of danger and possibility. The exposure of Isaiah's plot has neutralized one threat but potentially activated others, as his mysterious employer will surely not abandon their vendetta so easily. Jordan, though wounded, remains a formidable guardian of the city, more determined than ever to protect its citizens from hidden dangers. Josslyn has discovered capabilities within herself that will forever alter her path forward. And Sonny, having narrowly escaped death, must reckon with both his gratitude toward those who saved him and the sobering reality that his enemies grow ever more sophisticated in their attempts to destroy him. The stage is set for dramatic confrontations, unexpected alliances, and emotional reckonings that will keep viewers on the edge of their seats. Stay tuned as the saga of Port Charles continues to unfold with more shocking revelations and heart-stopping moments in the episodes to come.